Getting recorded, right? Everyone getting recorded videos?
Yes, Anusha.
Okay. So what are the concepts we discussed yesterday?
We discussed about which database, how to connect with the existing database,
Exactly.
and also how we are going to check in and check out and update all those methods we have used. We had discussed yesterday.
So multi-user activities, right?
Yeah, from multi-user app.
So today, is anyone done installation of Tricentis Tosca?
Anusha,
No,
I
not
haven't
that.
done yet.
Haven't done. So if possible, can complete as soon as possible. Okay.
Yeah, sure, Anusha.
So today I'll tell you the identification mechanism and standard modules.
Okay.
So standard modules are default package. Once we install a Tricentis Tosca, we'll get a predefined modules which is given by Tricentis Tosca. Okay. So in this predefined module, we do have a lot of facilities like to handle window operations, to handle file operations, folder operations, and numeric, process, resource handling, Selenium, timings, and these all are application specific team. When it is required, then only we use these standard modules. This is a database related modules, .NET related, HTML related modules like SAP URL, SAP Ferry, SAP NetWeb, SAP NetWeb Business Client, SAP Success Factors. So different predefined modules based on application category. They provided these many modules for us. Okay. And it is a mobile based application. Depends upon application. You can pick the relevant predefined standard module to do the development of your test case. Okay. These all standard modules which is related to the SAP. And this is the Excel related standard modules, PDF related standard modules, host and Vision AI related standard modules, and text streams. Almost, I can say like around 10 to 20% of predefined modules are there, and rest of the things will scan accordingly based on our requirements. Okay.
Okay, Anusha.
Now, so coming to the scanning mechanism, as I said earlier, in Tosca, we have one and only mechanism, that is a scanning mechanism. Why we are scanning the application? Any idea?
To identify the page properties, objects.
To identify the page locators, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes.
is it required to identify the page locators?
Anusha, instead of identifying a specific page locators, we can say that specific field location. Like let's say text box or fields, like let's say username and password fields. So instead of saying it's a page locator, we can say it's a field locator.
So we're just scanning a controls. Okay. So based on the our requirement, we're just scanning the controls. Okay. So Tim, I'll give you one example here. In a Tosca scanning window, so at the time of launching a scanning, where we launch this scanning module, module section is the phase to do the new scanning, right? Module folder, scan, within the scan, choose the application. Clear? This is the path. Now, I'm checking one more point here. After scanning window, so directly it goes to the Xscan window. What is mean by Xscan window? Xscan window is nothing but it displays all, okay, display all opened applications in our system. So what are the applications I opened in my system? I'm able to see all the applications in this particular Xscan window. Okay. Okay, what I do here, so I'll just select the required application. Select a required application and then click on scan. Okay, this is what happening. Once we do the class scanning team, directly it navigates to the application dot Xscan window. This is the application Xscan window. So in this application Xscan window, again, two views are there. One is basic view and another one is advanced view. Basic view and advanced view. So the basic view is a default thing. It is a default option when you are scanning a first. For example, today your installation is done and you started scanning of application. At the time of doing your first scan, directly it goes to the basic view. So that means it is a default for your first scanning. So if you want to jump to the advanced view, so to jump to the advanced view team, directly one arrow is there here, do click operation on that advanced view. So this is what the scanning related information. Let me show you, let me take one example. So team, here I'll tell you a couple of things. One example, which is related to the assignment document. So if possible, as soon as possible, try to complete your installations of Tricentis Tosca and start working on examples. Okay. Now, I'm showing you one example to you all. So everyone able to see? Could you please confirm?
Yes, Anusha.
Yes, you are able to see, right? These all are the assignment test cases, okay? So you have to start working on these assignment test cases. Couple of different scenarios is available, team, approximately 34. So maybe going forward, I'll add few more test cases as well. Okay. Now, so I'm just taking a first test case, very basic test case. Okay. So what is the scenario? How many test steps we have here to automate the script using Tosca?
3.
3 steps. Okay. The first one is open URL and second one is verify the title name of the checkboxes and click on checkbox 1 and 2. So what I'm doing here, I'm just opening this particular URL in my browser. Just taking a copy. Open new tab. So this is the application URL, paste here. Once you launch this application, everyone able to see here the checkboxes title, checkbox 1 and checkbox 2. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we have to automate these things step-by-step process. At the time of automating things, I'm just going back to my test case. What I'm doing, I'm just checkouting this folder. I'm doing checkout and I'm renaming this one to assignments. Assignments. And right click on here, create a one new test case, TC01. TC01 is a test case ID team, okay? TC01 checkboxes, okay? Now, right click on here and now what is the first step?
Go to
Open a
module.
browser, open URL,
So to open application URL, we have some default predefined module.
standard module.
So go to your standard module, go to module section, expand this HTML, open URL, drag and drop the standard module to your test case. Once you do the drag and drop activity, so pass your application URL here. So I'm just taking a copy of this application URL. I'm pasting here. Okay. So the URL development is done. Then what is the next step?
Anusha, how did you do? I visited finish one again.
This one.
Yeah, this one.
So already we have one standard module, which is open URL. Okay.
Okay.
Select this module. and hold
Mhm.
this cursor and drag
Okay.
to your test case space and go to your test case and drop here.
Okay.
Once you drop here, directly it creates one test step value. Okay. So in the
Okay.
URL row level, you can enter the application URL here. That is what I did here.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. So Tim, once you do the drag and drop activity and pass the application URL, now we completed the first step, right? Then what is the next step as per the test case? Verify
Verify the
Verify.
name.
title name of the checkbox. So are you able to see any title within this page?
Yeah, on the top checkboxes.
This is the checkboxes is the title, right? So how to verify this checkboxes title? We have to
We need
scan
to
this
do the X
module.
scan.
Exactly. So to do the scanning, team, always go to the modules section. Module is the section to do the scanning. Okay. Select a module folder and right click on here. Do the scan. Click on scan and application. So this application comes under web and desktop. Okay. Once you're here, see, this is the Xscan window point purpose. So see, what are the applications I've opened in my system? Are you able to see all applications here?
Yes.
Web
Yes.
and
Yes.
desktop related. So that is what I mentioned in a notepad. Xscan window, it displays all opened applications in our system. Okay. Select your respective application and click on scan. Once you do the selection application, click on scan. So this one is navigating to the application scan window. You can see the title of the page. What is the title of the page?
The internet.
The internet hyphen scan window. The internet is the application and that application related scanning window. So when you are doing a first time scanning using Tricentis Tosca team, directly it goes to the basic view. This is your basic view. Okay. What
Okay.
exactly the intention of this basic view? Click on controls in your application to add them. What are the controls you require? Just move your cursor to your application. Are you able to see something is highlighting here?
Yes.
Yes.
So just move your cursor to title and select this one. Now H3 tag is added. Then what is the next one?
Checkbox.
Checkbox.
Checkbox 1 and checkbox 2. Fine, I just selected only checkboxes. Here in a basic view, you can able to see the first one is a unique property and checkbox 1, checkbox 2 is not a unique property. So are you able to see that?
Yes.
Checkbox 1 and here again I'm renaming these modules thing. Checkbox. If you are doing renaming conversion, that is not impact to our test case. Okay. It is a
Okay.
kind of naming conversion which we are going to understand what exactly this control is related to.
Okay.
So team, in a basic view, we are not able to see any kind of the properties pane. Are you able to see here the properties pane?
No.
See, something is not clear, right? So if you find any one of the control is not unique, do one thing, navigate to the advanced view. Are you able to see here the advanced view arrow?
Yes.
Click on here, advanced. Once you do click operation advanced, see here in the right side, one pane is added. What is that? Identify by
Properties.
properties. And here you can see this H3 tag, H3 control is not reflected in a different color, right?
Right.
That means this H3 tag is a unique property. When I'm
Hmm.
selecting this H3, so Tosca is stating like the selected item is unique. The selected
Okay.
item unique. So which basis this selected item is unique? With the help of
So
identify by property.
property.
If you
Okay.
see these identify by properties, I'm just doing some scroll down activity. So one technical property is selected. What is that?
H3.
H3 tag. Based on this H3 tag property, the selected item is or selected control is unique. So I'm not selected this one team. This property is auto selected by Tosca. Got it? This property, this checkbox is auto selected with Tosca only. Tosca is auto selected this one, and based on this, our H3 tag is unique property now.
Okay.
That means whenever we are selecting any control in our application level, what is happening? Tosca is trying to make that one as unique while selecting couple of technical properties. Okay. Now see, I'm just clicking operational checkbox 1. Now tell me, team, is this checkbox 1 is a unique property or not unique property?
Not a unique property.
So checkbox 1 is not. Sorry, team, my system disconnected. I'm sharing my screen again. Yeah,
Yeah.
fine. So the checkbox is unique property or not unique property?
Not a unique property.
Not unique properties. That is the reason this one is reflected in a orange color. Okay. Now, so now let me check. So here the Tosca is selected couple of properties, right, to make this checkbox 1 as a unique. So which property Tosca selected here?
H3 tag.
Only. So using this tag, this checkbox 1 is unique or not unique?
Not unique.
Not unique.
Control is not unique, then we are the responsible persons. If control is not unique, then we are the responsible persons to make that control as a unique property.
Okay.
Okay. So how to make this control as a unique property? So before going to make a unique properties, first we understand one point where we are getting these details. So directly Tosca is steering this information. I understand that, but which level the Tosca is taking this information? It is a HTML coding. Getting? See,
Yeah.
who are working as a who are working as a function Selenium or any other automation point of view, they always do the inspection. They try to make this one as a unique while writing XPath and CSS path, right?
Right.
So in Tosca, what are the backend data is there like H3 tag? That is the reason we're able to see H3, right?
Right.
So this is the H3 as a text box, inner text. So what are the information is designed for the front-end developer? This entire information is steering this scanning window in a table format.
Okay.
We are not seeing here any coding. So the entire information is added here within a table format. So these all are the rows team, and the second one is the that related values. Okay. So this checkbox 1 is having couple of properties. What are those properties? One is tag. Do we have any class name here?
No.
And do we have any ID?
No.
And inner text also not there. And outer text also not there. Let us come to the outer HTML. Are you able to see the HTML coding?
Yes.
That will be same for other thing also.
Sorry?
No, that property will be same for checkbox 2 also, I feel so.
I think so, no. Because when I'm opening this URL, the checkbox 1 is not selected and checkbox 2 is auto selected. Okay. See here, this outer HTML text is only belongs to the checkbox 1. That is the reason we are able to see here. In a left side, I just selected checkbox 1. And these all properties related to checkbox 1 only. Can I select this HTML, outer HTML? Is this static or dynamic?
That is dynamic.
So can we add the values which is changing dynamically?
No.
No. Okay. So team, at the time of selecting any additional technical information or anything, so must you have to check that value, is that changing dynamically or is that stable value? Okay, this is a coding team, entire coding of our HTML. So don't select this HTML coding because it may change in a future, right? Yes. And here the tag they use the input tag, that is the reason the tag is selected and it is trying to make the tag as a unique property. And the type is here checkbox. I'm just selecting type. So now we understand we are getting this entire technical data representation. Everything is from application side, right? HTML coding. Okay. Tim, this point is clear.
No, Anusha, so which property did you selected there?
I'm not selected. I'm just
Oh,
giving
you're not selected.
information.
Okay, okay, good.
Okay. So verify checkbox title, and then last step is click on checkbox 1 and checkbox 2. This is what our test case, right? Yeah. So in identification mechanism team, I said like identification mechanism, right? In identification mechanism, the first priority is here identify by properties. What is that? Identify by properties. Why we are jumping to the identification mechanism? If selected control or if selected item is not unique, then we go with identification mechanism to make the control as unique. Clear? Then we go with identification mechanism to make the control as unique. So once we select the control, that is not a unique property team. So to make that control as a unique property, we are just implementing here identification mechanism. So at the time of applying identification mechanism, our first priority is here identify by properties. And this identify by properties is a default option team. So you no need to go anywhere. So the default option is here, identify by properties. So within this identify by properties, what are they recommended by the tricenties and what are the recommended locators we are selecting in a real time? The first locator is here, that is a technical information. In this identification also two categories are there. One is technical and the one is representation. Two tabs are there. So technical, the most recommended one is here, that is a class name, ID, and a tag. So inner text and value. So like this step, we always choose other properties to make the control as unique using identify by technical. If using identify by technical, if the control is still not unique, then we go for the REST procedure. First, I'll explain this point. Okay. I'm going back to the scanning window. So everyone able to see my scanning window, right?
Right.
Okay. So within this scanning window, here you can see it right side. This is identify by properties pane. Within this identify by properties pane, again, two subcategories are there. One is representation, another one is technical. So the first priority is always goes to technical. So in technical only, the Tosca is auto selected one of the technical property, that is a tag. But using this tag, that control is not a unique property. Then what is our next step? So we have to add some additional information to this control to make a unique. At the time of adding, I'm just checking some values. So I'm just going to the column and I'm checking column class name and class name related value. Do we have any value here?
No.
So don't select this checkbox. If we have value, then select. If we don't have, don't select this checkbox. And I'm checking here ID. ID is also not there. And I'm checking here inner text. Inner text is also not there. Name also not there. And outer text also not there. So here one thing I'm able to see, what is that? Type, right? Select this type. After selecting this type team, you can see right side bottom of the screen. I'm just highlighting here. So some kind of dot representations you are able to find. That means Tosca is trying to make that control as a unique. I'm just selecting value. Something is going. You're not able to see, right? I'll just keep it into
We can see. I'm able to see that.
Yes, are you able to see the 3 dots reflections here, both right side
Yes.
bottom of the screen? At the time of adding these locators, what happens? Tosca is trying to make the control as a unique using the additional information. I just added additional technical data as a type, right? So again, I'm adding one more technical data that is a value. Still that control is not a unique. You
Unique.
can check this checkbox. Is the checkbox is unique property now?
Still not.
So what I'm doing here, I'm just trying to make the control as unique using this particular checkbox one own properties. These all properties is related to checkbox one only, right?
Right.
Okay. I just try to make the unique that checkbox one using technical properties. Still the control is not unique properties. Then what is the next step? If the control is not unique using technical, then go with the representation. Within the scanning window, if you scroll up this window, are you able to see this representation tab?
Yes.
Yes. Here also couple of properties, couple of information is there. Action point. Is that action point is stable or dynamic?
It's a dynamic, right? X and Y
Dynamic.
coordinate.
So then don't choose this value. Getting? If the value you are thinking like it is a dynamic, don't choose that checkbox. Even I'm also agree this is a dynamic. Okay. And this is the adapter. If you want to select an adapter like a Tricentis Automation Engine adapters, HTML, if you want, you can pick. But adding of adapters is also not recommended. But anyway, we'll choose that. And associated label. Do we have any associated label information here?
No.
No. Then don't choose this checkbox. So context, HTML adapter. Okay, I'm adding this as well. Still the control is not unique. And controlling area, is that stable or dynamic? Controlling area.
Looks like dynamic.
It looks like dynamic. So it will change based on the laptop to laptop, right?
Yes.
Screen resolution now. So the default name is here on. I'm just adding here default name. Okay. Now coming to Boolean values team. Is this Boolean values or static or dynamic? It always dynamic, right? These kind of Boolean values.
Yeah. If we get checked already, it will change the values.
These Boolean values change automatically, right? If we do click operation on checkbox, then these values will be changed either true or false. Something is related to that, right?
Right.
So can I choose these Boolean values as a part of
No.
identification? No,
No.
because these all are the dynamically
Dynamic
changed
values.
values. Okay. So our first priority is identify by properties. So I just check with the technical and I check with the representation. Within this representation, the recommended one, the Tricentis is recommended here to create. One second. One is default name. So default name is recommended and another one is here associated labeling. So you are able to see here associated label, right? So the another recommended one is here associated label. These two or the recommended one is identified by representation. Okay. And are you able to see one more option is also available that is
In the
transition,
bottom text.
right? So this transition is not recommended and it is a very, very least priority because which option here it is choosing X path, right? So what is the property name here?
X path and
X path. And the value is also path, right? X path only, right? So this X path is not recommended team. Before applying X path, so you have to check other identification criteria. Sorry.
yeah, sorry.
So before applying identify XPath, you have to check with the other identification criteria. That is the reason I'm not mentioned here XPath. Okay. If locator is not unique, as per Tosca point of view, what is our next priority? That is a parent properties. parent properties. How to navigate to this particular parent properties? To navigate to the parent properties team, select a not unique control. And are you able to see here the filtered items? Right? So the filtered item is enabled up to here. Okay. Do one thing. You have to drag these filtered items up to all. Once you drag these filtered items up to all, so you are able to see the entire HTML structure here. Here you can see the entire HTML structure. HTML coding, entire front-end development structure we are able to see here. Okay. So what is the parent of this checkbox one?
Checkboxes.
This parent of the checkbox one is the checkboxes, right?
Yeah.
So do select this particular checkbox. So here the main thing is, see here team, checkboxes is a unique property, but checkbox one is not a unique property. Have you observed that indication?
Yes.
So I'm just identifying this one using a color representation. So the checkbox one is not a unique property, but checkboxes is a unique property. If it is unique, we are not able to see any color representation team. Okay. And bottom of the screen, we are able to see one message that is a selected item is unique.
Selected.
Okay. So based on this, I'm understanding. So I just selected parent, but after selecting parent, parent is unique, but checkbox one is not a unique property. So when we go for the parent properties, so team, you have to choose this option only when the parent and child both are unique. So once you select a parent properties, if parent and child both are unique, then only you can choose this identify by property parent option. Clear?
Okay.
So if any one of these not unique, don't choose this mechanism. I'm not choosing this mechanism. Okay, I'm just going back to the normal. You have to decrease these filtered items to the 1. Now, so then what is the next step? So I just implemented identify by properties, identify technical representation parents. Still the target control is not a unique property. Then what is the next step? The third step is here identify by anchor. What is that? Identify by anchor. So identify by anchor is nothing but we are just take the reference of take the reference. Take the reference of another control to make a target control as a unique. To make a target control as a unique. So to make a target control as a unique, so you have to choose identify by anchor. So here one more point in referred. So which control reference we are taking? Referred control must be unique. Clear? So identify by anchor is nothing but it is a kind of reference team. So I'll give you a simple example how it is working. So at the time of looking an opportunity, one of the reputed company will take one of the reference, right? From that particular organization. So assume team, I'm just planning to work with one of the reputed company. I have 2 references in that particular company. So one is a manager, another one is a team member. So okay, which person reference can I take? It's a team member reference or manager reference.
Manager reference.
So why we are taking a manager reference only instead of team member?
He might be having more influence or connections.
So maybe influence connections and this person manager is a unique, right? So
Yeah,
the HR department also easily recognize the managers who are acting as a manager. So when they see that particular manager name, is they think like this person is unique and this person is referred this particular one. Maybe they'll hire. More probably we have most of the chances to hire that particular person, right? Yes.
Yes.
So here also identify by anchor also acting as the same team. So same flow here. The thing is here, we're just trying to make the control as unique using own properties. Okay. If that is not unique, we are just taking a reference of another control. Here we are taking only a reference. So at the time of taking a reference, make sure that referred control must be a unique property. Make sure that referred control must be a unique property. Now here I'm just selecting a checkbox and how to navigate to identify by anchor. So click on here identify by option and select this identify by. And are you able to see one option, that anchor?
Yes.
Click
Yeah.
this anchor window. Once you do click operation, can I take the reference of H3 tag?
No. No,
Why? H3 tag is a
We
unique
can
property,
take.
right?
no, H3 will be common for other checkbox too also, right?
No problem. We're just adding a reference, that's it, right?
Right.
Not providing any interconnectivity between them, right? I'm just taking a
Okay.
reference of control checkbox 3, H3 to make checkbox 1, checkbox 2 as a unique property. Okay.
Okay.
So just move your cursor here and drag and drop this. Just select the cursor. Don't click on that control team. Just hold the cursor and drag and drop. At the time of drag and drop, you are able to see this top icon. Okay. Drag and drop this one to anchor control. So just move your cursor according to the anchor control and drop here. After dropping with the help of H3 reference, now the target control is a unique property, right? Able to see that checkbox 1 is a unique property.
Yeah. The color got changed.
So that color has been changed. There is no color, right? And even bottom of the screen, we are able to see one message. The selected item is unique. Okay.
Okay.
Next. And I'm just going back to this is what identify by anchor team. So the most frequently in real time, we always use the identify by properties, identify by parent and identify by anchor. So these all three mechanisms most frequently we use in a real time. Okay. So most of the cases we will keep the control as unique using identify by properties only. So if not, then we go with identify by parent or identify by anchor. So 95% will make a unique using identify by anchor. So at the time of giving a anchor reference within the page, if you find any unique control, so you can give that reference to the target control to make it as a unique. Okay. So for checkbox 2 also, I'm just checking the technical data team. There is no class name and there is no ID and there is no text box. And inner text, there is no inner text. Only value type is there. I'm just adding type and I'm just adding value. Still the control is not unique. Then what is the next step? Representation. In representation, do cross-checking of adding a default name. Still the control is not a unique. Then what is the next step?
Parent
Parent. We understand the parent is also not unique. Then
identify by anchor.
Identify that.
identify by anchor. When you go with identify by anchor, can I take the reference of H1 like checkboxes 1?
I think no.
Yes, because the checkbox 1 is unique, right?
Yes.
See, the main intention of identify by anchor. So what are the reference you can take, that is not a problem. But referred control must be a unique property. Now here within the page, I find the two controls are unique. One is H3 is a unique property and checkboxes 1 is also unique. So you can take directly checkbox 1 reference or you can take directly H3 reference. Anything is fine. Okay. So the thumb
Okay.
is here. Give the reference that is only unique reference. That's it.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just taking here H3 reference. So with the help of H3 reference, checkbox 2 also a unique property. Clear?
Clear.
Yeah.
Any questions on this identification mechanism identified by anchor?
Yeah, madam. Just have a small doubt. H3 itself is a unique by itself before we identifying the checkbox 1 and checkbox 2. We are taking the reference of H3, right? So H3 by default in the beginning itself is a unique property. Just want to know.
Yes, it is a default unique property.
Okay.
So here you can see icon representations as well. The first icon is the identify by properties. The below icon you're able to see, right? This is the identify by anchor.
Okay.
So
Understood.
H3 is a default unique property. So based on that H3 reference, we just make the unique as a checkbox 1 and checkbox 2.
Sure. Yeah, I understood. Yeah.
So once we make these two things, team, save the module. And one module is created here. Select that module. This module is holding H3, checkbox 1, checkbox 2. If you're not able to understand what exactly H3, do one thing. Just do the renaming here. And just removing this, copying this, and renaming here. If you rename this one, it will not impact to any other. I'll just application. This is not impacting to the application tip. So as per understanding purpose, we are changing here naming conversions. Okay. Now.
Okay, Anusha, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So why we are showing the checkboxes as a question mark for the checkboxes title, and for the checkbox 1 and checkbox 2 is showing
There
as a
is no default property for this checkbox.
default property.
Default property is nothing but Shiva. Give me a second. Sorry. So checkbox, the default property is nothing but whenever we are seeing this page, we understand this is a checkbox and this is a checkbox, right?
Right.
So at the time of designing, the people who are working as a front-end developer, they used here one tag that is a H3. H3 is not a specific default type, right?
Right.
It is not a text box. It is not a particular hyperlink.
Field or something else, right?
So
It's
it is not
just
a,
an heading.
there is a kind of heading. So
Yeah.
if anything is not comes under a default property, so we are able to see these kind of question mark representations. This is the icon representation only. Okay.
Okay.
If you want, I'll show you a different icon representations here within this page. You can see now. So to recognize the checkboxes, to recognize the hyperlinks, to recognize the text boxes, we do have different types of icon representation.
Icon representations.
Exactly. That question mark is a kind of icon representation which is stating like a H3 tag.
Okay.
That is a heading tag, right? There is no specific default property. That is the reason we are able to see a question mark.
Okay.
And now here, what I'm doing, I'm just hiding these filtered items. When I'm hiding these filtered items, are you able to see number of question mark representations?
Yes.
So HTML and head, it is a kind of icon representation. This HTML header body, we don't have any default property, right?
Right.
That is the reason we are able to see in a question mark. And here, are you able to see a dotted square bracket representation?
Right.
That means it is a div. So some tags they decide like div tags, span tags like this, right? Paragraph tags. Remember?
Right.
So those div tags are icon representation is a dotted square bracket. And here you can see the GitHub, this is a hyperlink. This one is the image. And this is a
Again,
checkbox.
checkbox.
And this is a break tag. Okay. And here bottom of the screen, one more thing, element selenium, that is a hyperlink. Above one is a div tag. You can see the tag here. Based on the tag, it displays the icon. Okay.
Okay.
Clear? I'm closing this window.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anusha, one doubt here. See, you can see the names as checkbox 1 and checkbox 2, right? Why it is not considering name as one of the unique properties?
No, it is not take the name. Inner text is very right. So currently the application level, they defined here the checkboxes. Maybe after some time they change this title. Inner text is always changing, right? So what are the properties that designed a backend development? Okay. It is not depending upon our decision team. Okay. What are the tags they implemented backend? It always consider the backend tags only. So this is the entire div tag. Within this div tag, they designed one more div. So this div tag, they defined h3 tag along with the inner text of checkboxes. Now Tosca is identified this control with the help of tag, not for the inner text, correct? If you want to see that, I'll show you here itself. Go to checkboxes title and go to this properties pane. And here you are able to see the tag only. What is the tag here?
H3.
H3, because that is defined in a backend. Okay. So if you come across checkbox 1, the type is checkbox and input, and this one is the checkbox 1. This is also inner text, and the above one, input 1 is a checkboxes. So based on the tag, so keep in mind, based on the tag, it displays the icon representation.
Okay.
Tag only. So this is a checkbot H3 tag. That is the reason we are able to see this icon. This is the, what is the tag here? Input tag. Then we are able to see the checkbox. And here also we are able to see input tag. So based on that, we are able to see here checkboxes. Clear? So this naming conversion is very user friendly. If you want to modify this naming conversion, you can directly modify this naming conversion. Okay. So once we're done a creation of module, drag and drop this module to your test case and drop here, drag and drop. So once you drop here, verify the checkboxes. At the time of verifying here, you can select a different options. So double click on value column, blue color down arrow, and then click on control properties, inner text equal to checkboxes. If you are verifying the name of the title character to character, then you have to choose the option as a inner text checkboxes, and action mode is here. Verify. Is it clear, team?
What is meant by inner text exactly means, like what it conveys?
Verification mode.
Okay.
Okay. So here different verification modes we have available in Toy Scientist Tosca. One is visible. Are you able to see this visibility of these checkboxes?
Yeah, like
Visible, we able to see. Existency, visible, existency, enabled, and inner text. Inner text is nothing but we are just verifying this entire text. Okay, that is stating as the inner text. Inner text is nothing but we are just verifying this title checkbox related text message. Checkboxes.
Anusha, from where?
Shantan, your voice is breaking for me. Come again, please.
Sorry. No, from how did you pull these properties in this test case? Yeah, you dragged and dropped, right? From where did you drag?
This module.
Yes, yes.
So just now I created one module, right? I just
Okay, from
selected
there.
that module. So drag and drop this module to
Test cases.
case
Okay.
and drop here. Once you drop here, then it is reflected here itself. Okay.
Okay.
Double click on value column, and are you able to see blue color down arrow? So this blue color down arrow is nothing but different verification modes. Okay, here different enabled, existence, visible, different verification modes is available. Select any one of these. So out of these, I selected here above inner text. Okay. Clear, Shanta?
Yes, Anisha. Yeah, got it.
Now coming to the checkbox one. Can we do click operation on checkbox one?
Select, click. Yes.
Open flower brackets, close, click. That's it. This is the click method. And if you use here another click method. Now we done the development. Okay. As per the assignment test case, the first point is here. Verify the title name. Just I verified this and then I do click operation on checkbox 1 and checkbox 2. Can
See,
I
by default, checkbox 2 is already checked, right? If we using a click operation, will it uncheck or will it check it?
uncheck? You do the unchecking activity.
So
If you
in that
want to
case,
keep it as it is, then we change the input mode. So instead of doing a click operation, we have to change that click operation to the Boolean values.
okay, on and off.
It's a true or false.
Yeah, okay, true.
For checkboxes, radio buttons, we can pass the Boolean values true or false. What's happening? No matching tab was found with following properties with the end. Oh, I executed only particular step team. I'm just selecting entire test case. Right click on here, do the run. So this one is unchecking. Script is working, right?
Yes, please. Okay.
Any questions? So today we had a discussion on standard modules related. What are the scanning mod and scanning and what is basic view and what is advanced view. And here we just take the one example and at the time of automating that example, we learn couple of identification mechanism to make the control as unique. That is identify by properties and identify by parent, identify by anchor. So other than this, we do have couple of identification mechanism. The fourth one is identify by image. And fifth one is identify by index. And sixth one is identify by XPath. So this is not identification mechanism. Try to apply the XPath to make the control as unique. So these 3 points are clear. Identify by properties, parent properties, identify by anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what exactly the identify by image is nothing but we just take the scanning of a particular control. Okay. Spotlight. Tip, I just show you only the identification image and index, okay? How it is working, I'll give you a brief information. So going forward in examples we'll do, okay? I'm just selecting an application, I'm scanning the page. So just assume, okay? Assume. One of the control is not unique. I'm selecting here the books. Yes. Books is not a unique property. Are you able to see is this books is unique property?
No.
No.
Here it is unique.
No.
Okay.
Are you able to see
Okay.
color representation, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So that means books is not a unique property. Now, assume, okay? So we just implemented identify by properties, technical representation, parent, anchor. Still this books is not a unique property. Just assume, okay? So this control is not a unique property. Then do one thing, identify by image. Go to identify by icon and select one option, identify by image. Once you select identify by image, so here you can see the image level. The Tosca is captured a control image. Are you able to see that control image here?
Yes.
So that control image is captured by Tosca itself. So Tosca is captured one control image, and Tosca is asking me to capture that image again. So once I scan that image, this image, Tosca compare these two images. If these two are same, directly make it as a unique. So to scan this one, click on this plus icon. See here, the screen is highlighted, right? Just move your cursor and take the screenshot. Now see. So team, at the time of applying a image identification, so Tosca is asking one message. Would you like to consider image identification in the search for your controls? Yes. If you click on yes, this might result in a long duration without visible scan window. If I click on yes team directly without visible scanning window, it takes some time. Directly it appears the scan window. Now see the scanning window is appeared, right? So now the scanned capturing image and control image both are same. That is the reason this books is a unique property now. Able to see the bottom of the screen, the books is unique property now. Earlier it is a not unique, right?
Yes.
So this is what applying of image identification.
How often we approach this like identification by image approach? Like how often we use this?
So identify by image is not recommended in a real time, because why this is not recommended? It captures the screen resolution. See, this
Okay.
book is a unique based on who? Screen resolution. Are you able to see here the screen resolution,
Yes, yes,
height and
correct.
width?
Yeah.
So this screen resolution is not stable. It will vary from VDI to laptop to remote desktops, right?
Yes.
So this image identification is not a recommended one where it is required. So mostly will not go with image identification mechanism. Okay. That is the reason earlier I said mostly will make our controls unique using these three mechanisms. Okay. So if you want to choose identify by image, then you can choose identify image. That is not a problem. But if the script is working for your laptop, maybe the script is not working for others' laptop because it is capturing the screen resolution, right? Got it?
Yeah.
But how this identify by image is working? So we are just capturing the target control image to make the unique. That's it. Instead of taking a technical properties, instead of taking representation, instead of taking a reference, we are directly applying a image identification. That's it. Clear? So team, is this image identification is clear for everyone?
Yeah.
Good.
So image identification is not recommended. And coming to here, identify by index. So index, are you able to see what is the indexing of this computer, particular computers?
2.
2 out of
2.
2. That means within the page, 2 computers is available. That is the reason the selected computer indexing is second one. Okay. And here you can see the warning message. Use the index only if you cannot choose the other identification criteria to uniquely identify the controls. So if you
Okay.
are unable to make, then only you can go with identify by index. Okay. So because this is the indexing of specific control team. So now this computer is in a second position or second indexing. Maybe after 1 month, maybe this will be go to the third indexing, right? If anything is added by developer, one more computer, then this indexing of this computer is goes to the second or third, right? Even
Right.
indexing also sometimes it change dynamically.
No, but if we add a new name again, that should be a third one, right? If see there are one computer, one is a one index one, second one is index two, and if you add a new one, it should be index three, right?
Yeah. See here, one computer is added here. This is the first position. Point is clear. And one more computer is added here. This is in a second position. Okay. So before this computer and just assume one more computer is added in between here. That means this is comes under second indexing, right?
Right.
Okay.
Then this indexing goes to third, right?
Yeah, understood.
If
Yes,
something
yes.
is added after this one, then that is comes under third indexing. I understand that. If something is added in between,
Between these two, okay.
it goes to the indexing is changing, right? Yeah. So sometimes we do apply the indexing as well, depends upon situations and test case functionality, always depends. So the indexing is always consider the indexing of specific control. Is it first indexing or second or third? So here you can see indexing 2 out of 2. So within the page, totally 2 computers is available. What are the computer I selected that is in a second position? Clear?
Clear.
Next, why XPath is not recommended? Any questions on XPath? Is anyone having a Selenium experience, team? Selenium experience.
I have a little idea, Anusha, but maybe sometimes the expert also will get changed.
Exactly. So team Selenium, while writing of XPath, we do have 2 categories here. What is that? That one is absolute XPath, another one is relative XPath.
Relative expert.
Exactly. Absolute XPath will not accept any future modifications. It will not accept any future modification. So if something is modified, that particular control related information that is not reflected to the absolute XPath. This absolute XPath is always starts with a single forward slash. So this relative is always starts with a double forward slash, and here it accepts the future modifications. Okay. And this is the double forward slash and this is the single forward slash. So the Tosca default takes only absolute XPath. So now tell me, is this absolute XPath or static or dynamic? Dynamic, right?
Dynamic.
So if something is changed dynamical, that is not reflected to the absolute XPath, right? That is the reason XPath is not recommended. So if you are good at writing of relative XPath, then write the relative XPath and use into the test case development level. Okay.
Okay, we can edit that the properties.
Yes, you can edit this property and you can update this instead of normal XPath, you can update this one into the relative XPath.
Oh,
That is possible. But default Tosca captures only absolute. So that is the reason it is not recommended. If you're good at writing of XPath, you can write the XPath and you can copy paste here and utilize that control. Make that control as a unique. But do one more point here. At the time of writing an XPath, if for example, I'm just taking a login, I'm writing some XPath to identify this login as a unique property. So at the time of writing XPath, we always inspect and we'll take couple of information here, right? Either class name, ID, or inner text or tag to make to write XPath, right? So team, they'll take any one of these controls to make the XPath as unique. So anyway, this class name we are choosing in a technical properties level, right? This is the relative XPath. 1 out of 1. When you see the message 1 out of 1, here you can see 1 out of 1. That means this control as a unique property. This particular login and using this XPath, it is a unique. Then who are working as a Selenium, they directly take this XPath and they utilize this XPath into their test development point of view. But if you're writing to an XPath, you can write it. But at the time of writing an XPath, maybe we'll choose a class name or maybe we go with inner text, maybe go with a tag or maybe go with H reference. Anyway, we are choosing these all options in a technical properties tab level, right? Are you getting my point?
Yes, yes, Anusha.
So then what is the use of writing an XPath? We already adding those all information here itself only, right?
Right.
That's it. So if you want to take a absolute or relative, you can choose this option. So I'm not saying we cannot use. So sometimes depends upon situation, we go with this. So, but instead of going with a relative absolute expat, you can write it as relative expat and use it. Okay. These all are the identification mechanisms which is available in Tricentis Tosca. Clear?
Clear, Anusha. Anusha, out of curiosity,
Yeah.
so I think so we can achieve all the identification mostly by anchor,
Anchor, yes.
like property, parent, and the last one we have anchor, so we can achieve whatever we can, right?
Yes.
Whatever we wanted. So this image, index, and XPath will not really recommended in real time.
Exactly. So may some time will take. Okay. So mostly
Okay.
we make unique using identify by anchor itself. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Anchor itself before going to these mechanisms.
Okay. That sounds great.
So team, in Tosca only a scanning mechanism. No need to worry about the development point of view and rest of the things. It's a only scanning mechanism. And just now we build one test case also. There is no coding here. Just try to understand these all identification mechanisms. So that is very much enough because most of the situation will face an issue at the time of scanning a module only. Okay. If you're good at scanning of modules and adding of properties, that is pretty much enough. That means our test script almost execute 90%. Okay.
Okay.
Good. So who are not done the installations part and license activations part, please connect with the management today. Today, tomorrow, they'll give the installations and the activations. So Monday onwards, our class timings is 7 to 8.
Hmm.
Monday onwards, our class timings is 7 to 8. Early morning 7 to 8. So you'll get that information as well. Please be available for 7 to 8 batch.
Sure.
Okay. And meanwhile, you have in your bucket, you have to done the installation of these things and start working on this test case. And I'll give you this assignment folder access as well. And you have to update your evidence documents here.
Okay.
Okay, so most of the people are working on this, and these all are my previous batch related information. So they already started working on this. So many people have completed assignments. At the time of doing practical session, you will get a more and more experienced team. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the reason I'm just giving a practical and theoretical knowledge both. Okay, this will help you at the time of attending an interviews. Okay.
Okay.
So if you get an opportunity to work with any web application or SAP Fiori or SAP GU or desktop applications or any healthcare or banking, if you go anywhere, same procedure. There is no changing procedure, okay? So the application is changing, but the development part, everything is common.
Okay.
Okay, team. I think today I took more than 1 hour. So sorry for that. We'll connect. So today is weekend, right? Just spend your time around 2 to 3 hours of time to do the practice. So then going forward, you are able to understand the rest of the concepts very easily.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
Any questions for me?
Just an assignment part, like, have you what are the things which we need to test like as part of assignment? Have you mentioned anywhere, like any in the document anywhere?
Scenarios.
Yeah, scenarios.
Yes, already I mentioned all the scenarios. This is all the scenarios, okay? The first is test case index. These all are the scenarios we are going to automate, okay? Each scenario is having test case ID. Okay. Once you done the first test case, so go to that particular sheet and write your name here. For example, Krishna, right? I'm just writing here Krishna. So upload your evidence document here. So that is what doing by our team. So still they are also started today itself working on assignments. Okay. So one person is working already, I think Venkat Sai. So just take some time, do the installations, start creating. So you have a lot of backlog team. So you have to do the installation, then start creating of project. Once you're done the creation of project, then start working on this example. Okay.
So Anusha, you will be sharing that document via email?
Exactly. I'll share you this document via email only. You'll get the notification. Today I'll share you. And meanwhile, you can share your email IDs through chat window. So better instead of connecting back to the management, I'll take here itself. So go to the chat window and share your email IDs here, team. Thank you. So everyone, please enter your email IDs.